Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The race starts in 5, 4, 3, 1.
It's Friday night. That means it's time for the Midwest Motorsports Truck Series to take the track. Tonight we are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the most famous race in all the world, the Indy 500. We are at the Quad Oval, and tonight the Truck Series is going to take action. The halfway point of this season, race 11 of 22. We're going to go green for 100 laps with a competition caution at lap 10. Lots of tires. I'm James J., joined tonight by Walker McAnulty. Walker, what do you think we're going to see, man, at Indianapolis?
We're going to see quite a fun race, I think. Tires here are really, really important. You got 4 sets on the floor in the pits and 20 laps, 18 to 20 laps for your fuel window. So we're going to be seeing guys take tires basically every pit stop, I'm pretty sure, other than the competition caution, I would assume. So we're going to be really seeing a big delta between the people who save their tires and the people who send it right out of the gate.
Right on. Well, we have a great field of 18 trucks ready to take the track as they begin their outlap. Pit lane entry and exit are a little bit different here as we have a staller back in the field. Hopefully, there's no incident points already. But congratulations to Ian Silva once again putting it on the pole. My man Ian Silva from Down Under last week at a podium, and tonight he's on the pole once again. Justin Thaler shares the front row with him in the 2 truck. Eric Thaler and Dustin Reinstedel, after missing Pocono, share row 2. Kevin Mayer, Brandon Cotton, row 3. Nicholas Aslin, Michael Samia, row 4. Travis Jones, John Aslin, row 5. Trevor Mack, Michael Harris, row 6. Dan Gish, Lee Kiernan, Ron Schamer, James Olavison, Norm Snyder, and Chris Thaler round out the field as these beautiful trucks line up to go green for 100 laps. Congrats again to Ian Silva for putting it on the pole.
The season's qualifying champion. That's him. Ian Silva.
That's right. If there was a championship for number of poles, Ian Silva in the 51 would be leading, no question.
The Ryan Newman of the league right there. Under from down under, baby.
Here they come rounding out of turn 3. Are you excited? I'm on the edge of my seat. Eric Thaler's up on Justin Thaler's bumper, ready to get this race started for 100 laps. Sold out crowd. Stands are packed. Standing room only. Barney takes a 90-degree left down pit lane, and Ian Silva starts off.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
100 lap race. Side by side in turn 1 we go. 2 by 2. Low banking. Ian Silva takes control. Eric and Justin right beside. Looks like Dustin Reinstedel is going to sneak in there on the inside row, and we're racing, Walker.
Yeah, they're already singled out front. We've got a couple of them battling for about 5th or 6th position there. As you can see them fanning out there, 3 wide. And there's actually a fight for the lead here. Dustin Reinstedel looking at the inside of Ian Silva. He's going to take away the lead and put himself to the point from starting on the 2nd row. Great start for that number 11 truck. As you can see, they're all pretty much single file all the way back to, looks like Trevor McLaughlin going up the inside of Kevin Mayer. That's going to be for the 8th position. He gets that move done. So now we're single file after 1 lap. And Dustin Reinsettle leads that first one as we fly off into turn number 1 once again.
Of
Still
course,
single.
spring is going to be super important, but we are back down single file almost all the way down. Walker, how do you set up a pass? What's going to be the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, passing here is really difficult. If you thought it was hard to pass at Pocono, it's even harder at Indy. It's really hard to get a good run, especially in that dirty air. There's really only one line around the racetrack. So just you have to figure out a way to get a better exit than the guy in front of you, and you have to be close enough to be able to sneak your nose in on the bottom. If you can get down to the bottom, like Trevor McLaughlin back there, he's looking to the inside of Michael Samia, but he's going to pull back in line. It's really, really tough because if you pull out too early, like Trevor did there, the guy that you're trying to pass, he's just going to have the slipstream all the way down the straight, and whatever run you got, you're going to lose. You have to really time it perfectly as well. And now, as you can see, we're still back to single file once again. And I'm sure these guys aren't going to be pushing too hard here off of the bat, just because of the fact that, you know, competition caution's coming at 10, and these guys are probably all going to be keeping these tires on these trucks for that next run.
You mentioned earlier that it's going to be tires, and falling off may not be such a fuel run race as we've seen in previous races in the Midwest Motorsports League. So tires are going to be the name of the game tonight. How do you conserve tires? How do you take it easy on the tire wear?
The best way to do it here in Indy is to just kind of roll it into the corner. Don't drive in too deep. Let it coast through the apex, and maybe run about half a lane up off of the white line. That's a really good way to try to conserve that right front. As you can see, Nick Asselin got a little bit wide in turn 2. That's going to allow Travis Jones to try to make his way up the inside on that 48. They're still side by side. Nick Asselin trying to hold it around the outside. If he can get around the outside here in 4, he's going to be able to have a good run down the front straightaway, but it looks like Travis is going to get that move done. He's going to move himself up into 5th. A good job by him. Taking advantage of mistakes, and that's really your number one way to make passes, is to take advantage of any mistake from the guy in front of you.
Incredible racing. It looks like Nicholas Aslan went up to that second groove and lost a little momentum, and now Travis Jones finds the second groove. A little bit wider arc into the corners, trying to save tires a little bit, but slows you down apparently. Nicholas Aslan's looking for that spot back from Travis Jones as he gets pressure from Samia and Trevor Mack behind. No change up front. This is the closest battle on the track. Single file, halfway to the caution. Competition caution.
Yeah, as you can see, they're still pretty single file. Looks like Kevin Mayer got a little bit sideways there, but it doesn't look like John Asselin's going to be close enough to make any moves. Nope. So they're still going to stay single file here. Now going through turn number 1. You can see them all kind of running around half a lane up off of that bottom line. Michael Samia actually going for a move in turn 2. Great opportunistic move there for Michael Samia to move himself up into the 6th position, take that away from the reigning champion of Nick Asselin, and now Nick's going to be getting chomped at by that beautiful pink and yellow truck of Trevor McLaughlin behind. They're still single file here. It looks like Trevor's got a little bit more speed though, but he's going to have to concede just a little bit, maybe try to get a better run once again and hope for another mistake out of Nick Asselin. But so far, you can see Dustin Reinsettle not in the picture. Everyone else is. He's 1.6 seconds out in front. Ian Silva still in 2nd, Justin Thaler still in 3rd, and Eric Thaler still in 4th. Those 4 have kind of ran away a little bit. And Travis Jones with a little bit of a buffer back to Michael Samia as well. This is definitely the closest pack on the racetrack though, these 4 trucks right here. see how much they want to work together. Trevor kind of nosing down to the bottom. Nick Asselin driving her down to the bottom. Kevin Mayer now pulling himself back into this fight, looking to the outside of Trevor McLaughlin, going into 4. Now that's an opportunistic move. Can he keep his nose in? He does not. Trevor McLaughlin closes the door on him, keeps that draft all the way down the front straightaway.
Great to see this aggression from Kevin Mayer. The 77, been racing with us for quite a while, and glad to see him representing the Army colors tonight. Looks like he's feeling racy, and I like to see it. I like this Kevin Mayer.
I'll tell you what, he's had some really good results over the last couple of weeks. Some top 10s, I think 6th place finish a couple of weeks back. Really good runs for that number 77 truck. As you see behind, we've got Dan Gish making a move on John Asselin going into 3 here. He does hit the curb on the inside, gets him loose. That's going to allow John to hold around the outside for now, but John's going to be conceding that position to that number 26 truck, letting him have it. And you can see Dan, once again, he hit the curb there, so it got him loose. Here comes John Asselin. Let's see if he pulls out or if he's going to stay behind. Looks like he's just going to stay behind and bump draft. So that's the move done for Dan, moving himself up into the top 10.
Nice work, Dan Gish. Coming over from the Road Series, giving the oval trucks a try. Think he likes it. So coming up on lap 9 of 10. Dustin Reinstedel in the 11. Taking that DeWalt number 11 to the front. No stopping. Ian Silva, your pole sitter, holds on for second. Justin Thaler, Eric Thaler, Travis Jones, Nicholas Asselin, Michael Samia race to the line. Oh, caution's out.
Yep.
Field's frozen. Great racing. If this is an indication of what we're going to see, I'm not going to want to go anywhere. Come in, top off fuel, and reset. We'll see if anybody takes a chance staying out. About halfway through a stint, is that right?
Yeah, we're roughly halfway through a fuel run at 10 laps, depending on how much fuel these guys are saving. I can tell you now that Dustin's definitely not going 20 laps on his tank, pushing all that clean air out in front and pulling away like that. We'll see if he keeps trying to go fast like that. He had roughly 7/10 of fall off there, quite a few, 6 to 7/10 of tire fall off in that run. But like Dustin's best lap of the run was a 53.0, which is a 1/10.5 faster than Ian Silva in second, and a good 3.5 to 4/10 faster than basically everyone from 5th back. So we'll see how good his tires are. We'll see if he changes tires here and just tries to run away, or what his strategy is going to be. I'm assuming everybody's going to be coming into the pits, and they are. Something interesting to note as well, which is kind of a foregone conclusion at this point. Oh, it looks like Michael Harris Jr. is going to stay out. He's going to try to take that track position. There goes that pink truck. Brandon Cotton was almost a full lap down after 10 laps. No, he's not way off pace because of damage or anything else. He was just saving them 4 black things around the outside of his truck. And he is in the pits. So he's going to be restarting in the back. But he'll have fresher tires than everybody else.
And Michael Harris Jr. gets points for leading a lap. That's the view I was looking for. Sorry about that. There's a race off pit lane. Very long pit lane. If we go green flag stops, going to be super important to make sure you get on and off pit lane. Looks like Michael Samia lost some major ground there.
Ian Silva with a good pit stop comes out ahead of Dustin Reinstedel. Great job by him. Not very many taking tires. Travis Jones, though, falling down the order a bit. He took tires, and Dan Gish took tires as well. So we've got a couple of takers on the tires. Got one out front that can make it about 10 more laps, I'd say, on fuel. Something like that, 8 to 10. Going to be shooting for probably lap 21 or 22 because of the caution here. Help him save just a little bit. I'm interested to see if this strategy works out for Michael or not here.
And Travis Jones taking tires now. He's going to have to save a set later on in the race. But if he can get up from his current 11th place, see if we can watch him come through the field.
One thing I will say is that Indy is very similar to Pocono in the fact that it's still really hard to pass. So Travis trying to take a little bit of hurt now in hopes that he's going to have good enough tires to be able to pass people and make more track position than what he had before the caution. And then whenever he saves that set of tires, he's going to be hoping that he's going to be able to hold off everybody that's going to be coming at him with a new set of tires. So we'll see how that works out for him. I mean, we'll see right now on this restart whether he can move himself up from that 11th restarting position in good pace or not. I'm also interested to see how Brandon Cotton comes through the field as well. He's in 18th dead last right now, so we'll see how he makes his way through. Ton of time to do it, but you want to lose as little time as possible. And these caution laps are so long.
Big track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
2 minutes per lap. I hope these boys keep it green is all I gotta say. I don't know if I can handle too much of this 2 minutes per lap thing.
Yeah, some laps are rough around the 2.5 mile track. Boys have been really good though lately about keeping everything together. Shout out to everybody running the 24 hours of Daytona, the iRacing events, special events. I know some guys stopped their or chose different stints so they can come back and race with us tonight. So thanks for everybody doing the double, triple, the Iron Man. I know you're in it as well, Walker. Good luck to you. Thanks for spending your time, your Friday night with us. Barney's going to pull off. Michael Harris Jr. is going to bring us back to green. Down the long front stretch, and Michael Harris steps on the loud pedal, and we're going back to racing with Dustin Reinstedt on the inside of Ian Silva. For second, around they go through the catch fence. Too wide. Looking 3 wide back there. Side by side with Platinum Elite. Going down the long back stretch. Michael Samia on the inside of Trevor McLaughlin. We have Eric Taylor down low as well. Trying to break the slipstream as we go into turn 3.
Still side by side for third. It looks like Eric is going to take that position away from Ian Silva. So not that great of a restart for him from the front row back down to 4th position. And that kind of shows you between these 2 restarts, you definitely want to restart on the bottom. No matter what, you want to be down there. You can get those moves done from down there. As JT gives a little bit of a look on Ian Silva, not quite going to go completely for it. Michael Harris Jr., though, still holding his own out in the front. Got Dustin Reinstedt breathing down his neck, though. He's going to try to get by him and get out in the lead as quickly as possible. You can see we're still single file back here. Nick Asselin has a pretty good run, backs out of it, though. After the block there, a little bit of a block from JT, and they're side by side up there for the lead. Dustin Reinstedt is going to get it done. He's going to take the lead away from that number 40 truck of Michael Harris Jr. And now Michael is going to be stuck on the bottom, and I am afraid he might get freight trained here. Hopefully he doesn't. They're still side by side going into one. Eric Thaler trying to hold it around the outside, and he will. So Michael Harris Jr. now down to third. Let's see if Ian Silva can get by or not. He's going to have a better run coming out of turn number 2 because of that wider entry arc. Michael Harris Jr. pulling down to the bottom. Going to allow Ian Silva to take that top line. Justin Thaler pulling down to the bottom as well, trying to get that draft from that number 40 truck as Nick Asselin goes around the outside of Justin Thaler. Can he make it 2 for 1? Not quite. Here comes Travis Jones on those new tires, feeling like Superman. He's up the inside of that 2 truck. He's going to take that position away.
Wow. What a race. Travis Jones throws the truck in there, slides up in between Nicholas Aslan and Justin Thaler. Good job by all the truck drivers for no contact. Travis Jones, into the wall for
Justin in the wall.
That's going to hurt.
Going to lose him a few spots here, even more spots. There goes Michael Samia as well, hits the wall again. Not feeling too great about himself. Here comes Kevin Mayer. I know he's probably punching the wheel. Justin is. I know I would be. Here comes Kevin Mayer looking down the inside. Is he going to be able to make that move? Travis Jones does get past Nick Asselin. Back here with Kevin Mayer and Justin Thaler. Can Justin hold on around the outside? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Kevin Mayer in that 77 truck takes the opportunity and takes that position away. Justin Thaler going from the top 3 to 10th in 1 lap.
Definitely into the safer barrier with the right side of his truck now pancake. But the racing with Nicholas Aslan, Travis Jones taking advantage of every place that he can, and Justin Thaler caught off guard. I was caught off guard. Was not expecting that. But great move by Nicholas Aslan, Travis Jones to drive up to the front. Now Ian Silva trying to figure out a way to get around Eric Thaler. Almost up to him. It's the race for second place. Dustin Reinstedel up the road. Just 1 second up the road.
Yeah, Travis is really moving. He's around 6 to 8 tenths a lap faster than everyone around him, especially the 2 right in front of him. Eric Thaler and Ian Silva last time by did have a better lap. 53.7 for Eric, 53.8 for Ian, and Travis Jones with a 53.5. So still a bit faster. You can tell that the tires are losing that nice new glaze on them. See up there, Brandon Cotton makes his move on Kevin Mayer. He's moved himself up into that 11th position. We'll need to keep our eye on this nice, pretty looking throwback truck here. Old STP Richard Petty scheme. Looking good.
Almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't think that was Brandon until I saw the 5 on the side of the truck. I was thinking somebody stole one of Jason Phillips' liveries.
That's
Just,
right.
you know.
Exactly. I thought the same thing, Walker. That's hilarious. Maybe Brandon Cotton thought this might be a throwback weekend with the Cup Series being that they're going to Darlington for our throwback race, but the trucks will have their own throwback race at Darlington later on this season.
Yeah, I was a little confused too, but we survived. And Justin Thaler makes that move on Michael Samia there through turns 1 and 2. Looked like Mike got a little bit crossed up going through turn 1, and that allowed Justin to get a good run on him and get to the bottom in turn 2, get by him, move himself back up into 8th. He's got a ways to go though before he gets back up to where he was. And it looks like Brandon Cotton behind has made the move on John Asselin. You can see him back there. He's moved himself up into 10th position as the trucks come barreling down the front straightaway.
Lots of wide open throttle. Hard to really save any fuel, which is why we think it's going to be a race for tires. And good for Michael Harris Jr., my co-commentator on Sunday nights. Be hanging on to 7th.
Yeah, let's see how much longer he can go.
Yeah.
We're on lap 20 now. So that's right at the end of the fuel window. Let's see if he peels into the pits this time, and he does. So, oh, never mind. He doesn't peel into the pits. He just pulled her down to the bottom. Looks like he's trying to make it one more, at least. Now Michael Samia is going to be looking to the outside, and Michael is going to be able to take that spot. Brandon Cotton sees the opportunity, is going to take it. He's going to go around the outside of that 40 truck as well. Michael Harris Jr. from 7th to 10th in the span of 2 corners. Now here comes Brandon Cotton to the bottom of Michael Samia there in the 3. Going down the back straightaway. This is for 8th position. That blue and red truck trying to get past the Dale Earnhardt truck. And he does. Takes that position away into turn 3. Drives her in there nice and deep. He moves himself up into 8th. While we've been watching this, by the way, Travis Jones has made a move on Ian Silva. So Travis has made himself that position up into 3rd. Michael Harris Jr. finally peels off into the pits. Great fuel run for him. So we'll see if that can set him up for some good strategy later in the race. Eric Thaler was, I thought he was done there. You see how sideways he was? Oh my God. Good job by him to not wreck that thing.
I want to see this again.
Oh my God. Look at him.
Sideways.
Taps the wall, and oh, he didn't tap the wall. I thought the wall maybe helped him, but no, he's just sideways, keeps his foot in it, doesn't lose even 100th.
Just another
Great job by him. He's sideways again. Look at him. He's driving the wheels off of that 15 truck.
Good
Those
to see
are the Thaler brothers.
in 2nd. Yep.
Yeah, both of the Thaler brothers driving her sideways. Saw Justin in the wall earlier after getting loose, and now Eric barely keeping it out of the wall. There's Michael Harris Jr. on the apron coming out of the pits. Long pit stop for him. Comes out 1 lap down. Really long pit stop.
We mentioned
Maybe it's just a long pit lane.
Long pit lane. A lot of time spent on pit lane speed.
Still circulating out green though. Eric Thaler has slowly closed this gap on Dustin out in the front. Was about 8/10 or so a few laps ago. Now it's only 4/10 of a second. And Travis Jones, with those tires that he took in the last stop, has made his way all the way up the 3rd. So I'd say for the short term, that was a good strategy call for him, getting himself better track position. And Eric is driving that truck hard right now. It's a good thing he can go put fresh boots on that truck for the next pit stop, because man, he ain't wearing out the right front, he's wearing out the right rear. But he's making time. Got it down below 4/10 on the gap here. Just making time slowly but surely on that 11 truck. We should see him closing up just a little bit at a time. Maybe he'll be able to get by him before the pit stop. We'll see. Man, look at those hands working. Turning right to go left, like old Doc Hudson.
That's right. Is this one of those tracks where you can take the right side tires and gain a little track position and not lose too much time on track, or do you really need to take 4?
I think you can take 2. It really depends on how loose or tight the setup is. If you take 2 tires, you have to remember that it will be very loose on those 2 tires. So, so if it's an inherently tight setup, you can take 2 and be okay. If it's an inherently loose setup or neutral setup, you're going to end up being pretty loose, which might hurt you in the long run. So we'll see. And these 3 have now converged on each other. Travis Jones is flying up behind these guys, half a second faster the last time around, probably even more this time, now that he's in the tow. Eric Thaler on the bumper of Dustin. Travis Jones on the bumper of Eric. Travis Jones looking to the inside is going to take away second position from Eric Thaler. Move that 96 truck into second place. Oh, and he gets loose coming out of 2. That's going to put him side by side going, or out of 1, now going through 2. Eric Thaler is going to take that position back. So Travis Jones got her a little sideways, and that's going to allow Dustin Reinsettle to run away just a little bit. Get that gap back over a half a second.
Took the words out of my mouth. Dustin Reinsettle, happy to see them 2 wide fighting up there as they reeled in over a 1-second lead. Eric and Travis eliminated that, and then go racing and give him his second back, but now it's down to half a second again.
Yeah, you can really tell that Dustin's starting to struggle on those tires right now. I mean, Eric and Travis both are really just going a lot faster through the middle of the corner than Dustin can. Dustin trying to hold on to that thing and keep it square, not trying to get it real squirrely. Eric Thaler, he doesn't care. He's driving that thing sideways, and it's happy, and it's going around. So 2 completely different driving styles showing right here in the top 2 positions.
Dan Gish right on the bumper of Michael Samia. This is the battle for 9th. Michael Samia has it. Dan Gish wants it.
We remember back to that competition caution. Dan Gish did take tires in that caution, just like Travis Jones did. So he's going to be on around 10 lap fresher tires than Michael Samia here. That doesn't make the move any easier. Oh my God. Both of them getting loose there. Dan Gish and then John Asselin even more behind. Oh my Lord. Good job, John.
Kevin Mayer's eyes got really big as he saw John Asselin get sideways in front of him. So drag racing down into turn 3. John Asselin gives up the ghost. And
Oh, here comes Dustin. Dustin is in the pits on lap 28, going into 29. So that's 18-ish laps on fuel, but that's also including some caution laps. It's kind of shorter than I expected. Lee Kiernan, Chris Thaler, and James Lavison also in the pits. So let's see what happens here. He's going to get that undercut on those fresh tires compared to these 2. But as we know, Travis is not going to, I assume, not going to be taking tires this stop. Let's see, yep, Dustin did take tires. He's coming out of the pits now. Here he comes. Let's see if he goes a lap down or not. Coming through the bottom of turn 1.
Eric,
Leaders are in. They're all in except for Brandon Cotton, of course. Brandon Cotton stays out. He's going to take over the lead. Michael Samia stays out. Kevin Mayer, John Asselin, both staying out. Brandon Cotton takes over the lead. He had made his way up to about 6th or 7th before all of these stops. Now he's going long, fuel saving king. See what happens with him. Let's see, Travis Jones does not take tires. Pretty predictable there. So he's going to be coming back out. Eric Thaler, everybody else should be taking tires here in this stop. Justin Thaler with a 10-second stop. Looks like he might have only took 2 tires. Maybe trying to get a little bit of track position back. Everybody else taking 4. Brandon Cotton's now in. Michael Samia, Kevin Mayer, John Asselin. They're all peeling down into the pits. See if Ron Chalmer follows. Yes, he does. I believe Travis Jones looks like he has taken the lead. But remember, He's going to be on old tires compared to these freshies for Dustin and Eric to see if he can hold on to that position or not. Oh, no chance. There goes Dustin up the inside, coming out of 4. He's going to take the lead away from Travis before they even actually take the lead. I don't even think Travis got the lead a lap there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for him. See where everybody cycles back out at.
Eric Thaler hanging in right there with him. So Dustin Reitstedel, that 1 lap undercut gave him about a 1.5 seconds. Pit stops were almost identical.
There goes Eric down the inside of Travis. He's going to make that move nice and easy. Travis just going to let him have it. No need to fight. He's got his track position he was wanting. Now he's got a 2.5 second gap back to Ian Silva. See if he can hold on to it or not. Ian Silva, though, is going to be going fast. He was your pole sitter, mind you. So.
I'd say that was a net positive for Travis. We'll see where he ends up at the end of this stint, although he is now going to be off cycle, off sequence of the rest of the field. But for Travis Jones to come out of the pits in 11th, or come in the pits in 11th, restart after the comp caution in 11th, and come out in 3rd, I think was a good move. Once again, we'll see how much he drops in the rest of this fuel run. Justin Thaler taking 2 has pulled him away from the fight he was having.
Yeah, he is around a second slower or so than the trucks around him, though.
Ouch.
So, yeah, you should be able to see him getting pretty loose, to be honest. 2 tires here is rough. Trevor got past him, I think, 1.5 laps to 2 laps ago. He's already 1.5 seconds ahead. Yeah, he's a full second slower than Trevor that lap. And he's a full 1 point. Let's see. He was 2.3 seconds slower than Eric Thaler last time around. Eric Thaler setting the new purple time of 52.595. Faster than the pole. Eric Thaler is on the hunt. He's closed that gap down from a second to under 4/10 in about 3 laps. He's a man on a mission.
1/3 of the race done, and we're seeing the battle shape up. We'll see if that dictates the rest of the race. We're going to see something similar to what we're seeing now as the cream rises to the top. Dustin Reinstedel, once again missing Pocono last week, wastes no time going to the front. But Eric Thaler, the Godfather, founding brother of Midwest Motorsports, not letting him get away. Eric Thaler's had a rough season. Long overdue for a good finish. Could today be the day that Eric Thaler comes and talks to us in the booth after the race? We'll see.
Yeah, Eric's been having a lot of bad luck this season. Hopefully he gets that turned around. It's been really sad to see how some of his races have ended. So last week at Pocono, running out of fuel on the last lap. And multiple times throughout the season, late race cautions while he's way out in front, losing him the race as well. But right now, he's way out in front, right behind the truck he wants to be beating. He is pushing him off into turn number 3. Eric Thaler is driving the wheels off of that truck right now. I think if he gets past that 11 truck, he is going to check out. Goodbye. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys at the checkered flag. That's what Eric's going to be thinking if he can get that clean air. Man, he is driving it in deep. Using every inch of track sideways.
right?
Man,
Eric Thaler, a 4th in the duels, no points, of course. 7th at Nashville, 7th at Sonoma. Otherwise, everything else outside of the top 10. Only 2 races inside the top 10 so far this season. Not from lack of effort, not from not running up front. Eric Thaler, see if he can put a complete race together today. Could today be the day? He's got to work his way around the number 11 of Dustin Reinstedel, your points leader, by over 45 points. Dustin Reinstedel got a stranglehold on this truck field. 3 wins.
yeah, you guys thought Max Verstappen in 2023 was dominant. Just wait until you watch Dustin Reinstedel in the Midwest Motorsports Truck Series.
That's right.
This is a statement season for him so far already. 3 wins halfway through the season. And he's going to be trying to fight for a 4th here. Looks like it's going to be him versus Eric for that 4th win of the year. Looks like Eric's lost that steam that he was building, and Dustin is kind of pulling away just a little bit. And we have a 5-truck pack here from 9th back to 13th. Michael Samia heading in. Travis Jones as well is now 7 seconds behind the leader. He's in 5th. He has lost the positions to both Ian Silva and Nick Asselin, with Brandon Cotton and Trevor Mack coming up on him pretty quick. Looks like Trevor Mack lost that position to Brandon Cotton at some point while we're watching the leaders. Brandon making his way up to 6th after restarting in that last restart in 18th. He's got a 15-second gap to try to pull on the leaders, though, if he's going to want to try to win this thing. So we'll see if his save at the start and restart at the back strategy is going to work out or not this time around. He is fast, but I don't think he can claw 15 seconds to the leaders.
60 laps to go. Lots of time. Maybe a yellow. We'll re-rack him, but otherwise he pops out going into turn 1 on Travis Jones. Travis Jones holds a nice second line. Brandon Cotton's going to take it into the short chute we go. Out of turn 2, and Trevor Mack looking for a way around Travis Jones as well. So Travis Jones going the wrong direction. Once again, off sequence on the tire rotation. The next pit stop should be around lap 50. So we're halfway through this run. Michael Harris probably due for some tires any minute. As Trevor Mack gets around Travis Jones, we're going to go back up to the front. As Eric Thaler once again is mounting a charge on Dustin Reinstedel. If he can keep the truck straight. Dirty air, that truck is loose. Dustin Reinstedel nice and smooth on the wheel. Eric Thaler, into the wall on the straightaway.
It's easy to do. You're watching that rear bumper of the truck in front of you, trying to think about what you're going to do, and next thing you know, you touch the wall. Right on that rear bumper, though. Lost a little bit of time, regained himself. Now he's right back up behind Dustin. Let's see if he's going to be able to manufacture himself a good run or not. He's pulling on him in the draft just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Does he pull out or does he stay behind? He stays behind. Off into turn 1. Max out of it, but make sure he gets a really good exit here. Oh, he hits the wall, though, coming out of 1. That's going to allow Dustin to pull back up. Another half-second lead again on him. Maybe Eric just really likes reeling him in, and he's casting him back out, and he's reeling him back in again. Over and over and over again. Let's see if he can get the catch.
Catch and release day for Eric Thaler.
Michael Harris Jr. finally in the pits. So that's going to be at the end of lap 39 for him. So it doesn't look quite like he's going to be able to make it the whole way on one less stop. That was, what, 18 laps on that fuel run for him?
Yeah, it looks like he could go down another lap. Or a lap. Nope, he's already down one.
Yeah, so the off strategy not quite working out for Michael Harris Jr. We'll see. He takes tires. He's going to be coming back out again.
Nice gamble, though. He's animating the race, giving us something to talk about. Thankfully,
Absolutely.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway, not the most, I don't know, hadn't been everybody's favorite NASCAR track. I'm glad they're going back this year. We'll see what happens with the new car and everything. But
Yeah.
the Truck Series has raced here before. Oh, they have not?
They haven't?
No, I do not see anything on.
Oh, they race at Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil Motorsport. Yeah,
Yep. That's their Indianapolis race is at Lucas Oil.
that's right. Not at Midwest Motorsports, though. We like racing on the big track. Eric Thaler is caught Dustin Reinstedel once again. Let's see if he's going to release him or if he's going to throw him in the cooler this time, in the water.
Hopefully the ice hasn't melted in the ice chest by now. I mean, he'll fall back and then he'll reel him in going like 3/10 a lap faster. And then he'll fall back and then he'll reel him in like he's just playing with his food. My mama always told me never to play with my food.
That's right. Eric knows you only have to lead one lap to get the points. Although he does need to lead well, I guess if you lead the last lap and win the race, that counts as leading the lap. But Dustin Reinstedel going for the leading the most laps.
Ooh, Eric with a little peak, holds it in line. He's taken a little bit wider of an arc on the entries, it seems like, basically all the way around. Dustin kind of more aiming towards the apex, especially in 1 and 3. It seems like Eric's kind of taking that little wider of an entry. Eric getting loose there coming out of 4. So he's going to be losing a bit of time here. Around half a tenth is what he lost. No longer on that rear bumper. Got about a truck length between the two. Time to reel him back in again. And you can see, I mean, he is driving that thing the absolute, like, he is putting that truck in every inch of the track. He's using every bit of asphalt in these walls. I had to figure out how to use that pun at some point.
Indy's walls. Indy's safer walls sometimes as he goes wide.
Oh, there goes Dustin down in the pits. Eric Thaler's taking back over the lead once again. Dustin with his 1 lap undercut here. A few other drivers pit on the same lap as him last time around. James Olavis and Lee Kiernan and Chris Thaler came in on lap 28 with him in the last pit cycle. See what he does in the pit box.
Can Eric do an overcut? Or will Dustin come out further ahead? Eric stayed 1 lap out last time. Does he stay 2 laps out this time?
We'll see. Dustin is taking tires. So that's going to be a 15-second stop for him, 14.63. And Eric Thaler is staying out for another lap, as you can see Chris Thaler there going down into the pits. So Eric staying out to lead 1 more. You can see in the background Nick Asselin has peeled off into the pits from 3rd. You know, Brandon Cotton has saved a little bit more fuel than everybody else on that first run. He's now in 3rd. He pit on lap 30 compared to Eric and Ian's lap 29. Trevor McLaughlin as well, now up into 4th in this pit cycle. He pit on lap 29 last.
What flavor Ghost is Trevor running tonight?
That would be I think it's the Straw Bango. Strawberry Mango. Honestly, one of my favorite, like, color schemes that he has is the Straw Bango scheme. It looks really nice. Yep, there it is, Straw Bango. Love these colors. Telling you, that Trevor guy, he can make some pretty good looking liveries.
Yeah, he can. Eric Thaler finally decides to come in. Trevor posted his cup lineup, which is pretty amazing. I think 6 or 8 cars, all with different colors, different flavors.
Yeah, me and him talk to each other a lot while we're doing our livery stuff. You know, we try to coordinate as much as possible because I usually try to run Candies and he runs Ghost, and there is some overlap there with Sour Patch Kids and stuff like that. So you can see him there going into the pit box, taking 4 tires. Seems like everybody's taking tires that's came in. Justin Thaler, did he take tires? Okay, he just got into the box. All right. So Dustin Reinsettle with a gargantuan gap back to Eric Thaler. 3.3 seconds is the gap between the two. Both of them took tires. So Eric, just with a worse in and off than Dustin, loses a lot of time. Maybe the timing screen's going crazy. Now it says, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's 3.5 seconds. Okay. So, yeah, you can see Ian Silva closer to him now than what he was before. Dustin getting really well in and out. Eric not quite so good in and out in his pit stop. Brandon Cotton and Ron Schaumer finally coming into the pits. That's going to give Dustin plenty of clean air out in front. Still got these 3 out in the front, though. Michael Smia, Kevin Mayer, John Asselin. Top 3 right now. Michael Smia getting that bonus point. You can see Michael Harris Jr. there going around the outside of the 3, and they're all 3 coming into the pits. Here comes Dan Gish as well behind. It's going to allow Dustin Reinsettle back in the lead. There he goes.
Starting the long journey down pit lane, and on the track, Dustin Reinsettle regains the lead, 3.5 seconds back to Eric Thaler. I believe that's all undercut. You spend about the same amount of time in the pits, those 2 laps that Eric Thaler stayed out. Half a second slower each time. Paid the price.
Yeah. The overcut is tempting because you're going to have better tires, but that undercut is very powerful. You see Dustin do it a lot. He's usually one of the first people to pit in every race. He's always going for that undercut, taking as many advantages as possible. You can see Eric Thaler back there. I mean, the gap was 3.5 seconds. Now it's 2.7. So he is clawing it in just a little bit. Last time around, Eric Thaler, new purple lap, 52.506, half a second gained on Dustin in the last lap. So this race for first is not over whatsoever. Eric's got a lot of speed.
What is Eric doing? He's by himself. He's not even getting a slipstream advantage. So this is just raw speed being shown by the number 15.
Yeah, I mean, he's driving it perfect. Barely tapping that curb. The fastest line around here is from the top down to the bottom. Try to get your tires as close to that curb as possible. Bring it all the way out to the wall just like that. I mean, that's a picture-perfect corner sequence from him. Another fast lap from him this time around. Let's see what it is. 53.1 for Dustin Reinstedel, 52.7 for Eric Thaler. Another 4/10. Meanwhile, in the background, Ian Silva took 2 in that last stop, and he has lost 3rd position to Nick Aslan. So Nick has moved himself up into 3rd. Ian Silva now 1.5 seconds back, about 6.5 seconds back to Brandon Cotton back at 5th. We'll see if he'll be able to hold on to his track position at 4th or not. Travis Jones fell back to 7th in that last run after not taking tires in the competition caution. Eric Thaler putting Dan Gish a lap down to him.
Dan Gish, sorry to hear that, got caught speeding on pit lane for Dan Gish. Had to be down the road. So that's going to hurt his race today. Out there cranking laps, letting the 15 go by. 52.8 for Eric in the 15, 53.3. 0.6 of a second there.
I mean, if he can continuously take a 0.5 second a lap out of Dustin, he's going to be there pretty quickly. But it's just a question of, can he get that move done? We saw this last run where he started the run way back, made his way all the way up there, but he couldn't get it done. He needs to get this pass done and try to pull away from Dustin if he's going to want to make this overcut strategy work so that Dustin's not so far ahead of him the next time. Because it was 2 laps this time, it was 1 lap the first time. That means it's probably going to be 3 laps the next time. That's a big undercut. Especially around here, big track. I mean, right now they're going, a good 0.8 slower than they do on fresh tires. 53.3 for both of them that last time around. So it's a really big difference in that tire delta between new and old tires.
And Dustin Reinstedel's going to hit this 3-way battle next as it's coming up to try to put him down the lap, but these guys are having a race of their own. Is that going to hold up Dustin Reinstedel? It might. He catches him at the wrong place, but Lee Kiernan looking to go on the inside of the 9 of James Olavison. James keeps it off the wheel. There goes the leaders right behind him. Lee Kiernan in the yellow truck. Lee, that's Jegs.
Yep.
Sponsor, yep, right on. Going inside now, doing the crossover. Ooh.
Oh.
Olavison in the 9, right in front of the leaders. Into the outside safer barrier. Lee Kiernan takes the spot. Michael Harris Jr. trying to figure out how to get out of the way, and the leaders have caught him, and that means Eric Thaler has reeled in Dustin Reinstedel as well. Here come the leaders fighting through the traffic. Dustin Reinstedel. Michael Harris Jr. goes low to get out of the way. Eric Thaler gets around Michael Harris. Olavison into the safer barrier wall. Trying to let the leaders go. Lee Kiernan takes the high line. Dustin Reinstedel drops down low. Great job for these guys racing and sorting their way through traffic. Good on you, Lee Kiernan. James Olavison has not given up on Michael Harris. Getting around Michael Harris either, even though he's into the wall twice that lap. And the leaders are finally through that traffic. And they can resume the lead, but Eric Thaler down under 0.5 second now as his catch and release day continues. Lap 56, 44 laps to go, and the race for the win is on.
Yeah, that lap traffic there really benefited Eric compared to Dustin. It seems like he gained a ton of time once Dustin got into that traffic. Around 0.7 the last time around. They were about equal this time, but now the gap is down to 1/4 second from 3.5 seconds. Only, let's see, what lap was it? 57. 10 laps ago, the gap was 3.5 seconds. Now it's down to nothing. He is on that rear bumper of the 11 DeWalt truck. Is he going to make a move? No, he's not. He's going to back out of it, bide his time. He's got to make this move at some point, though. Just when is it going to happen?
Are you driving behind him, Walker? Do you feel the dirty air? I know you can see it. Eric
Oh,
Taylor
yeah.
fast until he gets up right behind and then just seems to follow.
Yeah, once you get up to that rear bumper, you lose all of that air off of your nose. Truck does not want to turn. You got to figure out some sort of way to get some clean air on that thing. But the problem is that around Indy, it's a one-line track. You can see him offsetting just a little bit to the inside of the 11, trying to get as much clean air on the front as he can. He does get a pretty good run coming out of 2, but it doesn't look like it's going to be good enough for him to make a move. We'll see. Nope, he's just going to stay behind him going into 3, and they're line of stern once again. As long as Dustin can make Eric follow his tire tracks, Eric will not be able to really make a move on him. Dustin's got enough speed to hold him back. Eric loose going off of turn 4, left, right, sawing at that thing. He still gets a really good run though, right on his bumper going across the bricks, but still not going to be able to have enough to get past going into 1.
The truck in dirty air usually uses more tire as well, so this is damaging Eric's tires more than Dustin.
Yeah, but you know, Eric does have 2 lap fresher tires, so he's got a little bit of a delta in his direction as well, but still just not quite close enough to be able to pull out and get that run. Gonna need to figure out a way to set him up, and as long as Dustin's clean and doesn't make any mistakes, it's gonna be really hard for that 15 truck to get past. I mean, he is on his rear bumper coming out of 4 slideways, going off of the banking, but still just can't do anything. Stuck right there behind him, staring at that DeWalt. Oh, he's looking to the inside, but he's going to back out of it. Not quite close enough to dive it in there. I bet he's starting to wonder if he's going to buy different brand power tools at this point. Maybe some Craftsman or something.
Ryobi man after this, tired of looking at that DeWalt.
Gonna have to sell every DeWalt power tool he owns after staring at that DeWalt sponsorship. That's it's been a long time of him being right there on the back of Dustin. So many laps. Just waiting for the perfect opportunity to make that move, but as you wait, the less time you get, the less opportunities you'll have. I mean, you can see Eric, he's driving the wheels off of that thing. He's sideways off of 4 every lap. He's trying his hardest. Dustin just running that half a lane up off of the white line so that he can get a good run off of the corner. Eric, though, gets a good run there. He does pull to the inside. He's going to get his front bumper up to the quarter panel of Dustin Reinsettle. They're going to be side by side, door to door, going off into turn number 3. This should be his ticket, and it is. Dustin gives it to him. Eric Thaler to the point, finally, on lap number 61. Takes over the lead. Now let's see if he can run away or not. That's going to be really important for his race. Because as we already know, Dustin is still going to be undercutting him by a lot. So he's going to need to get as much of a gap as he can.
New leader, 15, Eric Thaler.
These two, by the way, are 11 seconds ahead of Nick Asselin in 3rd. They are flying. Nick Asselin is just now going through turn 1, and they're down the back straightaway. You can't even see Nick back there. They're a whole straightaway. He's a whole straightaway behind. Unbelievable how much pace these two have shown out in the front. There's Nick Asselin. He's out in no man's land. 11 seconds behind, 5 seconds ahead. He's having the old boring race there. And, oh, here comes Dustin Reinsettle. So Eric gets past Dustin, and then Dustin opts for the pit lane.
If I'm coming in this lap.
Now,
no way.
I am a little worried about Dustin's fuel mileage.
Yep.
It's going to be really tight for him because he's going to have to figure out how to go 38 laps on 2 tanks. And he's been averaging, I think, 17 or 18, which is going to put him around a lap short at the end of the race. So, I'm a little worried for his fuel mileage here. I'm sure he can figure it out somehow. But it's hard to save fuel when you got a blue and white Midwest Motorsports truck behind you. Eric stays out. So Eric gonna make sure that he's good on fuel at least before he pits again. The Kiernan peels off into the pits this time around.
That's right. If you can go 30, you really need to get down to make this a one-stop race after this one. Need to get down to 63 to go, or I'm sorry, lap 68, and do 31 and 31.
Yeah, I think. Well, no, I think if they come now, they can make it. I think it's what 18 laps times 2. That's going to give you 36. That's just enough to make it home.
That's right.
Eric, though, staying out another lap. So that's going to be a 3-lap undercut here for Dustin Reinstuttle, who is on track in 8th position after his pit stop. All the way down to 12th is 1 lap down. That would be Michael Samia, first one a lap down. Right there on the screen. Nick Asselin, second one to blink out of the leaders. He's coming in from 3rd. See what sort of strategy he pulls out. Dustin obviously took tires, by the way, in that last stop. Ian Silva, with all this going on, has been able to hold his track position. He was able to stay where he was on those 2 tires. Here comes Eric Thaler into the pits. Charging it in there. Oh, he locks her up going into the pits. Hopefully he didn't speed. Please tell me he didn't speed. Nothing popped up yet, so hopefully we're okay. 4 tires and fuel. He's good to make it to the end on one more stop. There's Dustin on the back straightaway there. He is going to come back. He is going to be ahead of Eric. Ian Silva's in the pits as well. Brandon Cotton staying out once again. Eric Thaler is taking 4 tires in his pit stop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Eric only sat there for 2 extra seconds. So I think he did miss the box, unfortunately. 17.3 second stop for him.
Ooh.
And Dustin is already ahead of him before he even thinks about getting around out of the pits. There's Dustin Reinstuttle down the back straightaway. You can see Eric back there on the bottom coming out of the pits. The gap is now, wait for it, 6.5 seconds and counting. 7 seconds is the gap as it stabilizes. 7.3 seconds. Man, that sucks. Brandon Cotton is in the pits from the lead. That's going to give Dustin Reinstuttle the lead once again. Kevin Mayer still out there, yet to pit. And continuing on, so he's going to take over 3rd. John Asselin going to take over 4th. Nick Asselin has pit already. He's going to be taking over 5th, which is still going to be 3rd once the pit cycle is completed.
I like what Dustin did. At 20 laps a tank, once you hit 60, you know you got 1 stop to go. So 60 came and went. 1 extra lap just for insurance. You know you're going to have a 1 stop for the last 40 laps. So just go ahead and take it. No reason to push too hard. Eric Thaler, yes, he's going to have 3 laps less of fuel to put in when he comes for his stop. But they both have one more stop remaining. And now Eric Thaler has to reel in a 6-second gap. Not quite enough time to save a full pit stop and fuel. So Dustin Reinstedel on plan A, flat out, stop when you need to stop, seems to be the plan.
I'm a little worried. We'll see whenever he comes in for his last stop. That's basically going to be the key. You're going to want to stop for your last stop on at least lap end of 81 or on 82, preferably 82. If you can stop then you're safe. If he has to stop on lap 80, that might be a little sketchy for him. So, Eric Thaler, new fastest lap of the race. Every time he gets tired, he goes faster. 52.454 in clean air by himself. 0.6 of a second faster than Dustin the last time around. Gap's already under 5 seconds. I'm telling you, that fishing line's getting longer and longer. But I think he can reel it in every single time. I won't lie. He has the pace. But he's going to have to carry this pace for quite a few laps if he's going to want to make up all that time. Everybody else that was still out has made their pit stops. So the running order currently is Dustin Reinstedel, 4.6 seconds ahead of Eric Thaler in second. Nick Asselin, another 9 seconds back in third. Brandon Cotton in fourth, 8.5 seconds back from Nick. Ian Silva in fifth position, 6.3 seconds back from Brandon Cotton. Trevor McLaughlin in sixth, another 6 seconds back from Ian. Justin Thaler, after getting in the wall, losing a bit of track position earlier, is now in seventh. He's moved his way up just a little bit, 4 seconds back. Travis Jones in eighth position, 9 seconds back from Justin. And we actually have a side-by-side battle for ninth. Oh, man, what perfect timing. John Asselin and Kevin Mayer. Kevin Mayer just took that position away from John. So that's going to promote him up to ninth. John Asselin now in 10th. Norm Snyder coming around in 11th position in that number 28 truck, 5 seconds back from that pair we just saw. Lee Kiernan in 12th, 4 seconds back from him. Michael Samia, you can see him on screen there, half a second back on 6-lap fresher tires. So we might want to stay with these two because Michael's probably going to be making a move here soon, I assume. Not quite. He's not reeling them in as fast as I thought he would be. We can finish out the list. Ron Schamer in 14th. He's 6.5 seconds or so back. Michael Harris Jr. down in 15th in that pink truck. Off strategy to everybody else. He's going to be pitting soon again. Chris Thaler there in 16th position with James Olavison right behind him. That is a battle for position for the 16th spot. That's your 16th and 17th place drivers. And, oh, looks like James looking for the inside. Not quite going to be able to get there. Chris just doing enough to hold him off. Looks like James is really going to be trying to make that move on Chris. These two have been racing each other basically the whole race. Both of them getting the wall coming out of 4. They're trying their hardest.
This one's for bragging rights. Nobody wants that red light, as they call it, the Lanterne Rouge.
Chris Thaler holds on to it around the outside. Good job by him. Good defensive driving. He's going to be able to hold on to those bragging rights for now. They're racing for 16th like they're racing for the win. Love to see it. Jumping back up to the front, 3.2 seconds is now the gap between Eric and Dustin. Another 6/10 difference between their lap times last time around. I mean, the lead's coming down. It's definitely coming down. Dustin is, honestly, this is the slowest in this part of a run Dustin's been. I don't know if he's just super conserving Or what?
When you're by yourself, if you're not as familiar with the track and the car, I'm not saying Dustin's not, he probably is, but when you're by yourself, it's kind of hard to lose, or it's easy to lose a frame of reference, I guess, for how fast you're going and what the best racing line is. Eric seems to have it figured out. I know when I'm by myself, sometimes I actually run slower until I know I can really push. You kind of tend to take it conservative. Out in the lead, you don't want to lose focus. You have to know your limit, hit your marks, and be consistent every time.
Yeah, it's really easy when you're by yourself, when you don't have a rabbit to chase, to just not quite hit everything perfect. And you're bleeding time and you don't know how.
Yeah,
It's really, really easy to do.
not just me. Thank you, Walter. Eric Taylor now, under 3 seconds. It seems to be a second every 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean, he's closing. We're coming up on lap number, ending lap number 74 this time around. So it's going to be, hopefully for Dustin, another 7 or 8 laps on fuel. Hopefully 8 for him, for his sake. As he pit once again on lap 62, 26 to go. As it changes over from the counting up to counting down on the top left, that's how you know we're getting close to ending this thing. Gap now down to 2 seconds. Another couple of tenths taken out that last time around by Eric. And by a couple of tenths, I read that wrong. 8 tenths, actually, was the difference between Dustin and Eric that time around. I think Dustin's fuel saving. He hasn't gone a 53.9 the whole race. And now he has. I think he's doing a lot of lift and coast. He's got that track position back. And he got the gap. And now I think he's trying to make sure he makes it to the end and is able to push whenever Eric gets to him. See what the lap times were this time around. 53.89, once again, about the same speed that time around. Eric, though, not quite as good of a lap as normal, 53.6. So, made a mistake that time around. James Olavison got a black flag, and then he just cleared it. Might have sped on the pit road. Now he is back in 18th position. That fight for bragging rights was, in fact, won by Chris Thaler. Closest 2 trucks on the track right here on the screen. Kevin Mayer in 9th, John Asselin in 10th. We saw Kevin get past John earlier whenever we went through the field. They're still the closest 2, under a second between these 2 trucks. Gap out in front, by the way, down to 1.2 seconds. 54-second lap time last time around for Dustin. 53.3 for Eric. Lee Kiernan is in the pits. That is too early to make it. So
You can't make it from here.
I think he might have realized that he couldn't make it on one more stop and bailed. Now he's going to maybe try to split them up, or he got into the fence and had to do some repairs. One of those two. Easy to get in the fence, so either one of those could be a possibility. I think we've seen everybody hit the wall in this race at some point.
Catch and release day continues. Eric Thaler under a second to Dustin Reinstedel. Can he get there?
The Jaws theme is playing once again. It's getting louder and louder. That baby shark behind Dustin's getting bigger and bigger in the mirror. Soon he's going to be Daddy Shark.
I'm not going to sing it for you, Walker. Don't even try.
Oh.
All good. He's on the hunt, though. Once again, let's not forget Nick Asselin and Brandon Cotton. They're 5 seconds apart. The battle for the final step of the podium. But the race for the lead continues. Eric Thaler inside half a second. Just barely. When is Dustin going to come in? You said 81 or 82. He can go all the way.
Yeah, 82 is safe. 81 is sketchy. He pit on 62. So if he saved 1 lap here and makes it 19, he's going to have to save 1 lap again. Eric, though, is going to be able to pit whenever he wants to. He doesn't have to go for that massive overcut this time around.
I'm pitting with Dustin now. I don't want him out of my sight. Maybe that's just me.
If Dustin pits on a lap where he can make it to the end, then follow him. Maybe 1 lap is okay. I wouldn't go any more than 2. Here comes Dustin. Dustin's coming in too early. He can't make it.
I don't think
Dustin's
so.
not going to have enough fuel.
Oh, you see Kevin Mayer into the wall.
Eric Thaler takes over the lead, and Dustin's... He's going to lose some time. He's going to have to take another splash. John Asselin, though, jumps down the bottom, takes that position away from Kevin Mayer. We saw Kevin get into the fence coming out of 4. Kevin, once again, loose coming out of 1. He's having to wrestle that old truck. Or as the old boys say, he's having to wrestle that thing.
That's right.
So Dustin Reinstedel into the pits.
How hard is it to save fuel at Indy?
I mean, you're on throttle so much.
Yeah.
You know, there's not very much off throttle time. So there's not very much time that you can just lift and clutch, right? You know, these 1.5-mile tracks, you clutch, you coaster into the corner. These big tracks like this, though, it's hard. Him being out there in that clean air this whole time, not having any drafting partner, not getting out of the throttle early down the straights, none of that has hurt him quite a lot. So, as long as Eric can make it to lap 82, which I think he'll be able to, he's going to be good to the end. Nick Asselin pit 1 lap earlier than Eric Thaler. He has taken over that 2nd position. Dustin, by the way, is now in 7th. He's 8 seconds back from Justin Thaler. And Justin's got 1 pit stop to go to the end, whereas Dustin's going to have to come in for a splash at some point. So, looks like Eric Thaler in the end did win that chess game. It's really fun watching, though. Great racing from those two.
Yes, it is. Incredible. 19 laps to go. You can make it from here.
It does suck that we lost our 1 storyline for the whole rest of the
Yeah.
race.
It is. It's turned into its own storyline. Can Dustin Reinstedel save and hold on to that podium spot? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's on fresh tires. His last lap was a 54.2. Here comes Eric Thaler with 19 to go. So it's going to be tight for him too, truthfully. And that's the end of 81, start of 82. It's going to be tight, but I think he's okay. Nick Asselin as well coming in. Brandon Cotton, I assume he's going to stay out. Yep, there goes that 5 truck. You'll see him on the screen. There, oh, nope, nope, not yet. Where is he? There he is. There goes that blue and red truck. He's going to take over the lead. Ian Silva is staying out another lap, so he's going to take over 2nd. Trevor Mack is in. Justin Thaler is in. Also, Dustin only took 2 tires in the last stop as well. And I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention to the rest of the race, but 2 tires has not been the move. Maybe that's why he's going 54s out of the pits. He is going to get back past Eric, though, for now. There's Eric coming out of the pit lane there. And there's Dustin Reinstedel. So gap is around 2 seconds as Dustin comes out with Chris Thaler in between the two. Ian Silva now in the pits. Brandon Cotton staying out another lap. Man, oh man. Now, I assume Eric knows that he's good to the end and Dustin's not. Here comes Dustin for his splash. He's going to give himself as much time as possible to make up those spots again.
That'll hurt.
Yeah.
He still may come home with the top 5. Definitely a top 10, but not the way Dustin wanted his race to play out. Get out of Eric's way instead of racing him. Get out of the possibility of Eric taking you out.
Well, if we're going to keep going with the fishing puns for Eric, I'll say that that the fish ran so hard that it ran himself out of gas.
Yes. That's been the story up to today, before today. Let's see if tonight is the night Eric Thaler brings it home, executes a perfect race, even bouncing it off the wall.
Yeah, great job from Eric so far in this race. Brandon is in the pits this time, so that's going to give the lead back to Eric. You can see Travis Jones there, last truck on the lead lap. He is 9th, so all the way down to 9th on the lead lap. 10th is the first one a lap down. That's John Assel. And Dustin Reinstedel has come back out in 8th position. He took tires in that stop. So, yeah, comes out in 8th. He is 6 seconds behind Justin Thaler in 7th. This is going to all promote Brandon Cotton, actually, is going to take over 3rd. I think he was ahead of Ian Silva for this. Never mind. Brandon Cotton takes over 3rd. Ian Silva 4th. Ron Schaumer is in 5th currently. He still has to stop. Really good fuel run from him, actually. He can't make it to the end, but great job by him on saving fuel. Gonna put Trevor Mack in the front, though. Yep, Lee Kiernan as well. Called him out earlier for not being able to make it. He's in the pits.
Well,
He sped into the pits. So, at least I assume that's what that black flag is. Ron Schaumer coming into the pits. Eric Thaler, 13.5 seconds ahead of Nick Asselin. He is in his own, he's on a different planet. He's gone. That blue and white number 15. He's been the fastest truck all night. Dustin Reinstedel, by the way, 52.2, new fastest lap of the race. So he had the pace in pocket. Maybe he just had to be pissed off for the pace to come out. He's moving. He's trying to catch that gap up to Justin Thaler in 6th. Here goes Eric Thaler, giving the absolute most space possible between himself and Travis as he's lapping him.
all right. No whammies, no whammies. 14 laps to go. Eric Thaler open for qualifying laps from here on out.
That's going to make Dustin Reinstedel the last truck on the lead lap. He is 45 seconds behind Eric, which if you do reverse math there, I would say that's probably 7 or 8 seconds up the road from Eric. If it somehow happens that Eric ends up lapping Dustin, that would be like the twisting the knife in the heart for Dustin. But Dustin's flying, so I don't think that's going to happen. He's got the gap down to 1 second to Justin Thaler. Justin is going pretty dang slow, actually. Dustin Reinstedel gained half a second on the front straightaway. So Justin Thaler maybe having a fuel save. Maybe he's not good to the end. We'll see. He is definitely going very slowly. And at this pace, it looks like Dustin might be able to make the move going into 3. and he does. Justin Taylor keeps out of his way, lets him go. Curious as to why Justin is slowed down so much over the last couple of laps.
What's up with that?
I don't know. That is weird. But
I mean, it's a long fuel save if he's trying to go from, well, I guess, lap
I mean, he
82.
fit on 82.
Yeah, so he should be okay.
Should be good to go. Unless he didn't get all the fuel in the truck or something.
Maybe he had to scratch his nose. Got distracted, something in his rig, maybe need a refill.
Yeah, who knows? Now 8/10 back from Dustin. I mean, Dustin is flying. That's for sure. He's still in the 52s.
Are there enough laps left? Even at a second a lap, Dustin Reinstedel.
He's got a 4.5 second gap to Trevor Mack.
44 seconds to the leader.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to claw back 44 seconds. I might be wrong there, but that's just my estimation.
22 to the podium.
There's Michael Harris Jr. making his last stop. His strategy gamble ended up not working out for him. But he got the sponsors some TV time, so they're probably happy. Let's see. Trevor Mack is going, his last time around was a 54.0. Dustin Reinstedel last time around 52.9. So around a second per lap. So it looks like Dustin is going to be able to reel in Trevor Mack and take away 5th. But it's another 15 seconds up to Ian Silva in 4th. I don't really think that's going to be possible for him. So the top 5 is still possible for the 11th. Still a good points day, all things considered. Led the most laps. Got the no, he didn't get the pole. He did. Led the most laps. Obviously led a lap. Top 5. Presumably 0x. So still a good points day for that 11th truck. But really the story, this man right here on the screen, Eric Thaler, out in no man's land. Clean air all the way around him except for that 96 truck of Travis Jones just following behind. Nobody else anywhere close in front of him or behind. Come around. Take 8 to go. Trevor Mack looks like he did get on the gas a little bit. Didn't lose nearly as much time this lap compared to last lap to Dustin.
Once again, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it gets spread out and everybody runs their own race. Very similar to how it happens in real life. Maybe it'll be different this year coming back around, but always ends up being a strategy race. Tonight is no different. The one coming out on top so far with the right strategy is the 15 of Eric Thaler. Going a couple extra laps long each stint to know that he could make it without a splash. And that homework he puts in pays off.
Let me read, try to see if I can come up with a fun fact real quick. Okay, I think I got a fun fact trivia question for you.
All right, bring it. What you got?
I'm just looking to make sure that it's a fun fact trivia question. Yeah, it is. Okay. In the NASCAR Cup Series, they've been racing here since 1994 with a couple of years off on the oval to race on the road course. from 2021 to 2023. Many great drivers of the sport have won here. Jeff Gordon was the king of the Brickyard. Dale Earnhardt as well has won here. Dale Jarrett has won here multiple times. Ricky Rudd has won here. Bobby Labonte has won here. Bill Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson. All of the greats. But who is the driver that took their first and only win of their career at the Brickyard 400? In 2011. Got anything?
Hang on. Ricky Rudd? No, he won a lot of races, didn't
He definitely, I don't think he won his first here. I hope not. This is a fun fact. It's not a fun fact.
he? No, fill me in. You got me. I'm stumped.
Paul Menard for Richard Childress Racing
Wow.
in a strategy win in 2011. Fuel mileage. Got her done. Got his one and only win. I think that was like a happy day for everybody because everybody loves Paul Menard. Such a nice guy. Not confrontational whatsoever. So it was really nice to see him win that race and put his name in with so many great drivers that have won here. I mean, the list of winners at Indianapolis is actually incredible. The amount of talent that is in that list.
Paul Menard's got a pretty cool tool shop as well. Home improvement store. Everything you could want. And the opportunity to kiss the bricks tonight. Who was going to kiss the bricks for the Midwest Motorsports Truck Series? Does Eric Thaler have enough fuel to make it all the way with 4 laps to go? Nicholas Aslan second, Brandon Cotton currently third. No pressure around any of the top 3. Multiple seconds apart, each truck doing their own thing, running their own race, winding the laps down one at a time. We have made it through 100 laps. 97, I should say. As Eric Thaler begins his 3 to go lap. Just to hit your marks. And bring it home, Eric.
Dustin doesn't look like he's going to catch Trevor Mack, by the way, for 5th, so he's still 2 seconds back. So looks like he's going to stall out in the 6th position after having to take that extra splash and dash. Oh man, 3 to go. Eric Thaler coming to take 2 to go. Everybody all the way up to 8th, 1 lap down. Justin Thaler right up the road in 7th. You could see him right there at the end of the screen. There he is, and there's Eric. So Justin Thaler almost a lap down to his brother. Shows just how dominant that 15 truck has been the entirety of the night. Been consistently the fastest truck in the whole race. Number 15, the Godfather, the boss. Coming around turn number 4 for the second to last time, coming to the white. Here he goes, Eric Thaler coming across the bricks to take the white flag. 1 lap to go. Driving her off into turn 1, nice and leisurely. Still aiming for the bottom though. Maybe not so leisurely. He's not turning right as much as he was earlier, that's for sure. Getting her in there.
And down the long back stretch, Eric Thaler bringing it home for the final time. Turn 3, One more turn to go for Eric Thaler in the 15 to wrap up what has been an amazing 100 laps. Qualifying on the second row. Fast lap after fast lap, and Eric Thaler wins the 100 laps at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Midwest Motorsports Godfather is your winner tonight. Nicholas Aslan in the 48, bringing it home in second. Another great run for Nicholas Aslan as Barney's going crazy. Nicholas Aslan brings it home. Not too far behind him is Brandon Cotton. Your final podium position for the Midwest Motorsports trucks. Your pole sitter, Ian Silva, comes home fourth. Trevor McLaughlin with the top 5 as he rounds the corner. Number 4 brings it home. And P6, Dustin Ryanstedel, after leading so many laps, gets the fuel number just wrong. Justin Thaler, your final car on the lead lap. Awesome racing tonight. No cautions, only the competition caution. And that's a race as the cars continue to lap around. Good racing on everybody out here tonight. Walker, talk us through your race highlights.
Well, for most of the race, the story was, of course, Eric and Dustin out in the front. Eric playing a bit of fishing, having to reel in Dustin over and over again. Dustin with those undercuts. Undercut a little too hard there at the end, though. Wasn't able to make it on fuel. So that gave Eric Thaler the 17-second win over Nick Aslan in second. Dominant performance out of Eric. Brandon Cotton comes home in third after restarting dead last after the competition caution. Great job by him to make up all that track position. Ian Silva comes home in fourth, the pole sitter. Great run for him. Trevor McLaughlin comes home in the top 5. He said before the race, this is one of his worst tracks, so great run for him. Dustin Reinstedel comes home in P6. Justin Thaler in 7th. Travis Jones in 8th. John Aslan in 9th. Kevin Mayer rounds out your top 10. Michael Semia in 11th. Norm Snyder 12th. Ron Schamer in 13th. 14th position is Chris Thaler. Lee Kiernan in 15th. James Alavis in 16th. Dan Gish in 17th. And rounding out the field, Michael Harris Jr. in 18th. 4 laps down. Nobody ended the race on the trailer. Something we'd all love to see.
For sure, what a race. 100 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They got sorted out, stretched out there at the very end. But some incredible racing and paying attention to your tires and your fuel was the story of the race. Third place, Brandon Cotton in the booth with us. We're going to talk to him in 1 second. Like you said, Walker, started off at the tail end at the competition caution and brings it home in P3. Brandon, talk us through your race, man. Congratulations on another podium.
Hey guys, I consider it more being lucky than good today. That was a long, grueling green flag run for sure.
Lots of pit cycles. Did you have your pit strategy laid out beforehand, and did you have to do any adjustments on the fly?
Really, I knew kind of it was an 18 lap cycle, and I was trying to save as much as I could after we came out after the competition caution before we took the green flag, and that I think that gave me that extra lap to be able to lead a lap occasionally during the stops. And once I knew I had enough fuel there at the end, I couldn't remember if Eric and Nick had pitted 1 lap or 2 laps before me, but I knew whenever I was taking the white flag, I had 2 laps of fuel, and I was thinking if they run out now, I'll be able to make it around them. But I guess they pitted 1 lap earlier.
What you got for Brandon, Walker?
Yeah, great job, Brandon. At the competition caution, I spotted that you were almost a lap down, That's the typical Brandon Cotton way. You were able to make it work, though. I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest. Indianapolis is a hard place to make the passes. So, how was it for you just coming through the field? Was it more strategy getting you the positions, or did you have to do most of it on the track?
It was a little strategy. I knew during testing the fall off was pretty severe if you really pushed the car, and I knew after I could run those 10 laps the way that I was running them, the right front, left front, and the left rear were at 100%, and my right rear was 99. And I knew at that point I had enough tire on that next green flag cycle, if nobody took tires, that I'd be able to push through quite a bit of the field and then be back on cycle with everybody.
Yeah, well, it worked out great for you. Great job. Another podium for you. Um, it I mean, might look crazy being 20 seconds behind the lead, but at one point I think you were around 35 seconds back. So, good job by you bringing her home in third.
I will definitely take it. A good points day, 0x for the 5 bonus, and uh, proud to put the STP paint scheme out there for people to see.
Yeah, it looked good. Another top 10. Congratulations, Brandon, on a great season. We're halfway through the season, and we look forward to some more of this as the season continues. Congratulations on P3.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate everything you do and everybody here.
That's right. We appreciate you. That's Brandon Cotton, your third place finisher tonight. Up next, we have the second step of the podium, Nicholas Aslin. Congratulations, Nicholas. How did the race play out for you, man? And cool paint scheme, by the way. Looks like you changed your paint up a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Made some adjustments to that from the version I ran earlier this year, but yeah, I mean, in regards to the race, I was pretty much, I guess, the best of the rest. I mean, Eric just put on an absolute clinic, and I know Dustin was up there too, but I guess he had to make an extra pit stop there at the end, and wasn't a very eventful race, but I am never going to complain about that. Those outside walls are like magnets, just wanted to pull you in off the corner, and I got it a couple times, but thankfully not hard enough to where it was ending my race or giving me a incident point.
Podium number 5 for you this season. Congratulations, Walker. You got anything for Nicholas?
Yeah, I mean, you were in no man's land for most of that race, Nick, and you know, can you speak to just how hard it is when you're by yourself like that to keep yourself constantly focused and making sure you're hitting your line and you're not making those mistakes and letting people catch up to you behind?
Yeah. Honestly, I really like when it ends up being that way. Just because, at that point you're not really racing anybody on track. You're more so just racing lap time and trying to make sure you can, get through those fuel runs as good as you can. And it really just comes down to executing on and off pit road.
Yeah, right on. Well, great job from you coming home in second position. You said last week that if you come with a string of seconds, then you need James to give you a little pep talk. How many more second places do you need before you get another pep talk?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't ever want to complain about finishing second. Wins are nice, but I think I kind of proved that in my season last year where, winning isn't everything to win the championship. So it's good to kind of have some consistent races here as of late where, this first part of the season was just awful. So good to put together some good runs, and hopefully we can keep that going through this, longer middle stretch of the season.
Well, we'll look for you at Dover next week. Maybe you can do one more step higher on the podium. But either way, I'm sure the race will be exciting because you're in it and racing to the front. We'll be looking for you, Nicholas. Congratulations on another great run. Hey, are you running the 24 hours a Daytona with anybody? I know you're pretty good on the roadside as well.
No, I am not. I don't know. I got to do it eventually, right? But I am not. But definitely looking forward to Dover next week. That was like one of my favorite tracks that we did in like my first like half season I was here. So that track's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that.
All right. We're looking forward to watching you drive to the front, hopefully. Until then, congratulations on another great win or a great podium tonight, Nicholas. We'll see you next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too. That's Nick Lasslin. P2 up now. Winner, chicken dinner for Eric Thaler, the godfather of Midwest Motorsports. Congratulations, Eric. It's been a long season, man. You finally pulled it off tonight.
Yeah, thanks, James. Good to be back in the winner's circle.
Long time coming, man. So we noticed that you went long the first couple of pit stops to make it all the way, maybe 2 or 3 laps, and you came out. I was curious about being 10 or 15 seconds back, and we said it was catch and release day. You kind of caught him. The leader caught Dustin there, and then let him go. Didn't really want to pass him until the pit cycles came back around. Were you fuel saving, riding behind him? How did you get to go that extra 4 laps there at the final stop?
There definitely was a little bit of fuel saving, riding behind him and trying to keep it tight. You know, I thought to myself for a while there, I'm getting tired of seeing this DeWalt sticker on the back of his. I'm actually a Milwaukee guy, so you know, it definitely did work out for me to stay with him. You know, I just seemed to have a fast truck tonight too. It just was on rails for me. You know, to where some guys were wearing some tire out to where I didn't feel it. It's too much of a you know, too much of a slowdown for me. So it did that part of it did help out as well. So it was a pretty decent night for me.
I'd say we saw you scraping the wall outside of turn 4 too, but I mean, purple lap after purple lap, you were hauling the mail all night. Walker, what you got for Eric?
Yeah, great run, Eric. You were definitely the fastest truck in the field the whole night. You and Dustin were making a really fun race for us to watch, even if you weren't running side by side a lot. Um, kind of early did you think? How early did you start knowing that Dustin probably wasn't going to make it to the end without a splash?
Uh, it was probably after the middle pit stop, you know, after the comp. So, you know, we had pitted the 2 times there. It was after that I kind of was feeling that he might not make it. You know, he definitely could have saved some fuel maybe and got it there. You know, he can definitely do that at times, but you know, it was after that stop that I was trying to count laps in my head as I was going around to see how far I was going to make it, and then knowing that I was at that point 2 laps, you know, ahead of Dustin and fuel. You know, I started to question whether he was. So, you know, it was after that the third pit stop we made after the comp to where, you know, he took just fuel, and at that point I knew he was going to be short.
Yeah, I mean, great job by you managing everything. Fastest truck on the track, still able to save enough fuel to make it to the end. Maybe on fumes. How much fuel do you have left at the end of that thing?
When I crossed the finish line, I had 2/10 of a lap left. So um, I coasted it all the way around and made it start finish line there there after the finish of the race. So I didn't have much at all.
Great,
Man.
great job. A win at Milwaukee earlier this season, now a win at Indy, and the Midwest Motorsports truck parks it in victory lane. You get to go kiss the bricks tonight, Eric. Congratulations on a great win. We'll be looking for you next week.
Yeah, man. Thanks, James. Thanks, Walker. Appreciate it.
All right. That's your winner, Eric Thaler, Indianapolis 100 lap race. We move on next week to Dover as the race season continues. Walker, thanks for joining me tonight. We saw some great racing. Indianapolis tends to get spread out. We didn't have anything other than that tonight, and lots of excitement. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Dover's going to be a great race. We're not going to get nearly as spread out as we did here at Indy. Going green the whole way at Indy can be a pretty big slag, but you know that's just the way it is whenever you're racing at such a big track. It's like a super speedway, but you got to slow down. So you know those pit cycles can really spread out trucks quite a lot. But yeah, great race overall. Great job by everybody holding it together. Great job by Eric Thaler coming home and taking the win. Uh, really good to see him back in the winner's circle after so many races with bad luck this season. Coming home and getting that win. Hopefully, it's the start of something special for him and a good run of form coming up the next few weeks.
Could not agree more. Walker, good luck to you in the Daytona 24 hours and all our Midwest Motorsports members that are driving the special events this weekend. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. For Josh Watt and all of the Midwest Motorsports admins that make this league great, I'm James J. for Walker McNulty, reminding you to stay in your lane.
And I approve of this message.
Bye bye.